May I come in, sir?
Please come in. Please come in.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Have
Good
a seat.
afternoon, ma'am.
Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you come from Ghaziabad, isn't that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell us something about yourself?
So, my name is Yash Kumar. I graduated from IIT Kanpur with a bachelor's in computer science and engineering. I was placed at Microsoft as a data engineer, where I worked there for 1 year before resigning to pursue civil services. I was born with profound hearing loss, and for that I went to Chennai for therapy. I was successfully mainstreamed into regular schooling, and despite a few initial hiccups and challenges, I've done academically well, and I've also pursued a few sports activities and reading.
Very good. But Microsoft must have been a very good paymaster.
Yes.
But you decided to leave that and to pursue civil services dream.
So money is definitely necessary, but it's not my prime motivating factor. So while working at Microsoft, I realized that there was something lacking in my work. And looking at the social and economic potential of our country, I thought I could contribute directly there.
Okay, your father is in Sidbi.
Yes, sir. My father works at Sydney. He's currently on deputation with MOVA.
Okay. Okay, then computer sciences. Okay, then your mother also is working?
Sorry, sir. I didn't
Your
know.
mother is working woman?
No, sir. My mother's not.
Then your annual income of your mother,
Yes, sir.
if she's not working, where does she get
So
this?
that is interest income savings account. And
Okay.
some
okay.
rental income.
Okay. And your father originally belongs to Bhagalpur.
Yes, sir. was born and brought up in Bhagalpur.
About 20 years, 20, 30 years ago, Bhagalpur came into news because of one very heinous crime.
Yes,
You
sir.
remember that?
I don't remember,
What
but
was that?
I've heard about it. Bhagalpur blindings case. So,
What was that?
So the police they blinded several under convicts with acid in their eyes
Under trials. Yeah.
under trials.
Okay. Okay, now your last question from me, your options. You have not opted for police service because of your medical condition.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you have opted for railway protection service. This is almost same physical standards required, but you have opted for that.
Yes, sir. But the
15.
form allowed me to fill it up. So
Okay. And perhaps you are the first who has opted for Indian Foreign Service immediately after Indian Administrative Service. What do you think is so charming in Indian Foreign Service that you,
So,
after Indian Administrative Service, after IAS, you prefer that?
So the current economic progress our country has made and its vision on the international stage has what led me to pursue foreign services. I believe India can make a lot more impact on the foreign arena, especially with its presidency takeover at G20, and it's also scheduled to organize SCO this year.
So you want to be a part of India's journey ahead in world
Definitely, sir.
stage.
Yes, sir.
Now, just 2-3 questions. Very recently, Rishi Sunak has been fined for something. What was the crime?
So he was not wearing a seat belt in his car,
Good.
and he was fined.
And where does he live?
So he is currently living in the Prime Minister's residence in London,
Where? What is the address?
10 Downing Street.
10 Downing. Right. And what happened recently in Brazil?
So currently there was an protest at the parliament where the protesters came into the parliament complex and they violated the security.
Okay. And what is India's policy about semiconductors?
So India is currently trying to promote semiconductor manufacturing in India. It has given PLI incentives to the companies. Semiconductor industry is an industry that requires extensive investment in capital and skilled labor. So it will definitely require some government support for that. Vedanta is proposed to set up in Gujarat.
And why is there a voice of protest in Nepal about the China-Nepal Trans-Himalayan Railway project. Have you heard of it?
I've heard about the railways project, but I'm not aware of the protest, sir.
And what is the recent current political situation, political problem in Pakistan?
So there was a change of government last year when the preceding government lost its confidence motion in Pakistan.
Recent. Something happened day before.
So can I clarify the question you asked for political development in Pakistan?
Yeah, 2 days back.
I'm not aware about it, sir.
Pakistan's Punjab's chief minister had recommended dissolution of Punjab Assembly to the governor.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Yash,
Yes.
you have studied electronics, computer science in your 12th standard, and you are a computer science engineer, right?
Yes, sir.
You are employed with the Microsoft.
Yes, sir. I was employed, sir. I've left it.
Can you hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are employed with Microsoft. Some of your friends must have gone to US after doing engineering and all this.
Yes, sir.
You would have also gone. It's a much better life in the US and all this. Why all in the Indian system?
Sir, I think so. I believe life's goals, one of the goals should be how you leave the world a better place after you leave. So I believe that I can contribute much more to India's development than in America.
But we are looking at these people, Indian diaspora in abroad. We are celebrating days of Pravasi Divas and all for them. We are so much after them, forgetting our own people. We are celebrating days for them. Prime Minister goes to those events.
Yes, sir. Everybody has their own priorities and their own strengths and how they can contribute in their own manner. I believe with my problem-solving skills and with my interest in the economic and social affairs of the country, I can contribute to much more here. Yeah.
Okay. See, you are interested in employee survey. I have read somewhere. Sentiment analysis of employee satisfaction survey. Of course, employees should be satisfied. See, there was a movement sometime that, confidential reports we write of our own staff.
Yes, sir.
When we are officer, we write a confidential report. There was a movement sometime that staff should write our confidential report. Staff should write whether the boss is all right or not. And then evaluation will be done. You are a district collector, suppose your people start writing your report. How will you take it?
So
Will
I
not
think-
it affect you, your working performance?
So, sir, our work, we should take into consideration of how our work impacts everyone. It is very essential to keep our employees and the people working under us motivated and working. So I think so I'm in favor of it because work is not simply answering to your boss. You should be answerable to your clients, your team members. So it should be an all-round evaluation, not just from your boss. So I'm in favor of it, sir.
No. I'm saying bottom up.
Yes, sir. From
Employee
the
satisfaction survey.
from
Employees are satisfied or not satisfied, they will write your report and send it to your commissioner. Sir, our deputy commissioner or DM is like this confidential report and goes to your commissioner. You write your commissioner's report, send it to the principal secretary.
Yes, sir. It should be in addition to already the existing confidential report. Employees should also be allowed to write, as it shows how you are able to manage them.
But if you continue with both the reports, the boss report also, employee report also, they may be conflicting reports. Boss says you are very good, employee says the worst boss. Employee satisfaction. You are doing analysis of employee satisfaction. Are employees generally satisfied with the bosses? You must have done some survey.
Yes, sir. Mine was purely an analysis of that survey. I was involved in the machine learning on applying that. I was not involved in designing the survey. So, but employees should be satisfied as they are ultimately the backbone of any
Should be
company.
alright, but in your survey or in your general understanding, do you find in Indian system, in bureaucracy, employees are generally satisfied with their bosses or not?
So the image is that they are not very satisfied because
They are not very satisfied. So you are afraid that if they start writing your report, they will write a bad report. They are generally not satisfied, you said.
Yes, sir.
And
But
then you say, okay, I want that it should happen. If that happens, you yourself are saying, employees are not very happy with me and I am wanting them to write my report. So they write a bad report, so what will happen to you?
sir, I would work on it, on improving it, and ultimately the satisfaction of ultimately it will be ultimately it's a barometer. That would be an average. If you are doing a much better than the average, that would be rated positively. And I think so. We should.
Okay, that's different. Anyway, environment you have studied somewhere, right?
Sorry, sir.
Environment.
Environment.
See, in Delhi, you have studied here in Delhi. You must have seen quite a lot of Delhi. There are no very high-rise buildings, except must be 100, 200 buildings, high-rise building, maximum 200 buildings in Delhi, sir. What is story?
Not more than that.
All areas are open, lot of greenery, lot of water around. Why there is so much of pollution?
So it has to do with the geographical location in Delhi. So it is right in the middle of the plains and it is surrounded by the Himalayas. So the cold winds and they all come and settle around Delhi, and there's no land or sea breeze that can blow away this pollution. Also,
Then all cities around Delhi, Chandigarh, Jaipur, all these Kanpur, they should be much more polluted with that. Kanpur is also in the plains, like this Delhi, same altitude.
yes, sir, and along the plains, they
Same
are
altitude.
equally as polluted. Kanpur, Lucknow,
Same geographical location.
Yes, sir.
Jaipur.
And
Chandigarh.
it also has to do with how other factors such as agricultural stubble burning. It also has to do with the high vehicular density we have in these plains. We are not, most of the electricity is being generated by coal power plants
No,
also.
there is no coal power plant in Delhi.
So not nearby, means but near.
Nearby there is no.
So
Which coal power plant is there nearby?
not so near Delhi, but so in Jharkhand it affects
No,
Bihar
I'm
in
not
northern
asking.
plains.
I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
going to Jharkhand. Delhi, you tell me, why there is so much of pollution? No high-rise buildings.
So it also,
Car density is not that high. Population density is not that high.
so it's not just purely one factor, but it is a combination of multiple factors which lead to it,
Such as
such as vehicles, agricultural stubbling, the concretization of our cities that does not lead to much of catchment, and there are very few trees, and also this concretization also leads to heating of the cities. So the warm air that remains trapped here. It's unable to escape anywhere.
okay, you have studied statistics somewhere. I've seen from your records, you have studied 12th standard, right?
I'm not
Statistics. You have studied statistics, no? Some
basic statistics.
basis. You are the collector.
Yes, sir.
You get statistics of one particular item to different agencies. You give the work. You tell me what is the effect of rains on our harvest and all this. They come out with different statistics. What do you do then?
I'm sorry, sir. I was unable to.
They,
Could you speak a bit
you
slowly,
give a
sir?
contract to two agencies. Give me for my district. Please study the effect of rain or no rain on our harvest. How much harvest is produced? How much rain is there? So there is a correlation, right?
Yes, sir.
So these two agencies give different statistics. Different. What do? You are a collector. You have to take decision whether to allocate more money to the fertilizer, allocate more money to the water harvesting, water system, or to the for this seeds, or give some
So
money to the farmers.
statistically, one more way would be to get another survey, and if it correlates with any one of them, that could be taken as the more correct one. I have a third one, but if that is a expensive process, then so. I'm unable to think of anything.
Okay. Last question. You are a computer science engineer, right? So you are a specialist of this thing, right?
Yes, sir.
What way you will put this knowledge into use for development of your district? Computer science.
So the district administration can be made paperless. We can use AI, and we can use AI for urban planning, for smart cities, for traffic management. Also, we can lot of people are not very comfortable with digital devices, and languages are not in their own mother languages. We could use text to voice software to make them more accessible to these people. Yes, sir.
What about schools?
So yes, sir. For schools, it could be made a hybrid learning, so because both peer interaction is important as well. It could be also extended to children which are in remote areas. Telemedicine also can be encouraged for people who are in remote areas, and this is a upcoming technology, but blockchains also could be used to build trust between the government and the documents, such as land records, business licenses. They could be more trustworthy.
Yes, during school you played district level table tennis.
Yes, ma'am.
So you must be a good player. Why didn't you pursue it as a career? There is a lot of scope in sports as on date.
Yes, ma'am. But my parents always wanted me to study. It was more
But
of.
you wanted to play. You played at district level. You played later in Kho as well. What about your choice?
I always thought I always wanted a balance between my studies and sports, and I did well in whatever sports I pursued. I wasn't very particularly favorable in any particular sport.
Okay. Okay, so can you enlighten me with where was table tennis invented?
It is said to be invented by the Britishers,
In England.
and as a parlor game in India also.
England in the early 20th century. And what was it originally called?
I believe it was called ping pong.
Correct, you are. Okay, now coming on to Formula 1, which is another of your interest. Name Indian Formula 1 drivers.
Ma'am, currently there is nobody racing in Formula 1, but there are drivers who are racing in the lower leagues, such as Jehan Daruwala, Kush Mehni. Also, we had racers who have raced in Formula 1. There is Narayan Karthikeyan and Karun Chandok.
Exactly. And Jehan is most probably about to come up in Formula 1. He's presently racing in Formula 2, isn't it?
He has joined Formula Electric for the season.
Exactly. You have interest in European football.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please differentiate between, or just the acronym, give me the full form for FIFA and the UEFA?
UEFA stands for, I'm not sure, Union for European Football Association.
Exactly, and this is what you follow, isn't it? So UEFA is Union of European Football Association.
European Football, and FIFA is Football International Federation.
Federation, yes, exactly. Okay, so any wider thoughts on why India isn't able to make a mark in football till date?
Ma'am, it has to do with a lack of vision in football, and there's a lack of grassroots development. And football is only present in a very few areas of our country, such as Northeast and the southern states. There's not been much of funding for football, which has now been taken care in the last decade, since the development of ISL, that has brought a renewed focus and commercialization in football. And AIFF has also come up with a Vision 2047. So hopefully we can improve in football.
Okay. Now coming on to Greek mythology, one of your interests. Can you tell me, as per Greek mythology, the Greek gods and goddesses, where did they used to live and what were they called?
Ma'am, the Greek gods, they used to live on Mount Olympus. I'm not aware of any specific name which...
Olympians?
Okay,
Olympians. They were called Olympians because they lived on Olympus?
Yeah, ma'am. They were opposed to Titans.
Yes. And who was Zeus?
Zeus is the king of the Greek gods, and he's the god of sky and lightning.
Ruler of Mount Olympus as well. How long did the war of gods between Zeus and Titans lasted?
I didn't catch your name.
How long did the war of gods between Zeus and Titans lasted?
I'm unaware of the period, but...
It was 10 years. It was 10 years. This is it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, can you just wait outside for a few minutes and we'll call you to
Sure,
give
sir.
our assessment and suggestions, right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.